Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is a roaming prepper, and thank you for joining me once again. So today I'm gonna do a little bit different approach to one of my topics. So today I want to talk about having a first aid kit for different purposes. We often talk about, oh, well, I want a first aid kit for my get home bag, my bug out bag, my car. But the truth of the matter is, I actually have different first aid kits in different places for different purposes. And I didn't spend a lot on them. Now, yeah, I can do here's a link to Amazon. There's some great products there, some I'm affiliated with. But this one is not going to be, let's review the product. Instead, I'm going to show you some of the stuff I did on my own, kind of DIY approach. So I'm going to start with my computer bag, which of course I left off camera. So I got my computer bag, and as you can see, it has, various pockets here. These are TSA safe bags. So this is the first one I'm going to do. Is kind of my day-to-day, everyday first aid stuff. So you open the bag, and you notice it looks kind of just plain, right? But in here, I actually have Ziplocs. Now, the reason I do the Ziplocs is because if I have to fly, say I'm on a business trip and they're like, hey, park your car at the airport, we got a ticket for you, you got to go, I don't know, to Denver or something from Texas. Okay, great. So this has basic things. It has the medical mask if I need it, and there is a place for masks. I know everyone's very sensitive about masks after the Rona, and the mask didn't do what they said it would, because that's not what the mask is made for. Masks are useful for sheetrock, dust, larger particles, or if someone's giving up, body fluids, it will protect you to some level. To protect from a Rona, you'd need like a N95 and greater mask. So, obviously, it's like anything else, the right tool for the right job. And so, but I do have a medical mask in here, some nitrile gloves, because some people are allergic to latex, right? So you never know, you don't want to put latex gloves on. You go to help someone, they go into anaphylactic shock because you have the latex gloves. So that's really important. Then it has some generic Band-Aids and other such things, little antiseptic wipes. All of this stuff I got from a generic first aid kit that I bought at the store, and then I just basically pulled everything out. I've also bought off-the-shelf Band-Aids, Q-tips, antiseptic wipes. You can find all this stuff pretty cheap. Also, if you have a first aid kit, the big first aid area in your office, you can ask the office manager, hey, can I steal a couple of gloves for my first aid kit in my car or my bag? They'll let you do that. So this probably ran me $10, maybe less, $5. Emergency poncho, which serves double purpose. One, obviously a poncho, also protects you from particulates that are falling to an extent. Now it will catch fire, so if fire is involved, you got to take a different approach. But you can also use it if someone has a wound, especially an abdominal wound where you're afraid like something might come out of their body other than blood, like a gut. You can actually use the plastic to kind of hold it in and then wrap around, but that's beyond my medical expertise. Just as a disclaimer, I'm not a medical professional. I was a responder, but my knowledge to dealing with catastrophic wounds is basically enough to keep someone alive for 10 minutes so the ambulance can do the right thing, because I don't have those tools. But anyway, you can also use it to protect from rain, protect from debris, and there are a variety of reasons. You guys know that already. Then I keep one of these. Now this one I bought, I'll put the link in there, but you can find these in the stores as well. This one is a North American Rescue Emergency Trauma Dressing. This is basically a wrap dressing for cuts, lacerations. You can use it on the body. Technically, you could probably stuff it in a wound if it's a major puncture wound. And of course, it's stuck in here, a first aid kit, good Lord, a tourniquet. Notice it's in the holder because if my situation changes and I need to empty the bag to put something else in there, I can put this on my belt. It comes pre-staged, so what I've done is, and this I believe is a North American, yeah, this is an actual cat tourniquet. There are a few different brands. Cat's probably one of the best ones. And I pre-stage it. You notice the way it's set up right now, so I can pop it open with one hand and my teeth, put my arm through it, and immediately start to apply it. So it's already set to apply. What you don't want to do is buy a tourniquet, have it in the plastic bag it comes in, and never take it out, never, because imagine being full of blood or some other fluid, and now you're trying to open a plastic bag to get a tourniquet out to save someone, and your hands are full of gunk. That's not a good idea. But anyway, that is my really, really cheap EDC bag. And in here, I also have a Sharpie, because I have Sharpies everywhere. I think it's a Sharpie. I can't get it out now. All right. It's stuck in the bag. So clearly make sure your safety products are not stuck in the bag. By the way, I do like to share when I screw things up, because I think it's important for people to see me not do the right thing as well. Also, some very basic things, emergency, this, the little packet for when you get sick, but it also gives you energy and a little bit of sugar. If you're on the road, if you can find a bottle of water, you can throw one of these in there. It gives you some calories. I got a Dayquil, and I got another emergency here. I also keep my Nutrient Survival granola bar. Nutrient Survival has really neat little packet type stuff for travel. ReadyWise has a different mix of stuff. Each manufacturer has different niche, if you will. And so, shop around, find what works for you. Do have a glow stick. I do have a flashlight. I've reviewed the flashlights before, and I have this. My daughter gave me this. She got it at a giveaway. It's the rescue bracelet. You notice a lot of this stuff I can take out of the bag and put in my pockets and on my belt and on my wrists. And now I've made space in my bag. So in an emergency, I can make room for different resources as I come across them. So anyway, that's kind of like my down and dirty budget level EDC first aid kit. And then I think I have another glow stick in here. Oh, and I have one thing I do recommend: if you wear contacts, get some cheap readers, like, whatever your vision is. Get some cheap off-the-shelf reader glasses or distance glasses, whatever it is you need. Because you never know. I don't use contacts. They mess with my eyes and I don't like them. They freak me out. But some people have to use them, and you want to be able to read in case. Think about it. If there's an emergency, you get separated from your friends, and you're trying to read the instructions on some tool or equipment to protect yourself or save yourself, you want to be able to actually see the letters. So, little thing we don't think about is the reader glasses. And yes, I do believe it's a first aid thing too, because if you have something stuck in your arm and I can't see properly what I'm doing to you, I could actually hurt you more. So just something to think about, little things. Now that's my everyday go to the office, drive to and from work. Obviously I have a go bag, that's a whole separate video. I've done one before, I've upgraded it since, I probably need to do that. But now the shooting range bag is different. If you notice, this is where I put shotgun shells, all my range tools. I have side-end tools down here, inside the bag. But you can see this guy here. This camo bag is actually a big-ass first aid kit. And again, I bought the pouch at the Army Navy store. But look at the goodies that are in there. So in here, I'm not going to pull it all out, because then it'll take me 20 minutes to put it all back. Now I have kind of the same loadout I did in the emergency bag, but it's in one pack. And here I've put rolls of gauze, first aid tape, right, to tape down a bandage, Advil, aspirin, Tylenol, Benadryl. And don't eat a bunch of Tylenol because you're angry at the president. That's just stupid. Give yourself liver failure because you don't like some other pendejo. Anyway, I won't go down that rabbit hole. In here, I also have shears for cutting. I have scissors. Basically what I did, I took, again, some off-the-shelf first aid stuff. I found a decent list online. I don't remember where the hell I found it. Called my son-in-law, who's an oncologist and used to be a firefighter, and I'm like, hey, what would you put in a really small bag that measures this by that? And he's like, oh, I can send you a list. Sent me a little list and pooped it out the bag. Now keep in mind, when I bought the products, right? The items, the gauze, the bandages, the band-aids, the tape. For one bag, I made several first aid kits at once. I didn't just buy it for one bag and leave the rest in the kitchen. No, I actually made the range bag, I did the travel bag, and I did my door side first aid kit. And yes, I have a door side first aid kit in my truck. So again, because I'm at a shooting range, I have more gauze, I have blood stop powder, you know, the blood clotting powder in here as well. And I have, in the front pocket of this range bag, I actually have an Israeli bandage and another one of those NAR emergency bandages. I have both. Now again, a different purpose. Remember, if I'm at work, what am I likely gonna have, barring like Al-Qaeda kicking in the door of the office? I'm gonna have somebody falling on something sharp, somebody cutting themselves with scissor, maybe a box cutter or knife trying to open something up, they split their hand open, maybe someone losing their balance, falling through like a glass pane door or window to, like, you know, we have a kitchen area that has like a glass wall so you can go in and out, but you can see who's in the kitchen. Somebody falling into that, they get cut by the glass. I'm expecting a different type of injury at the office or even in the airport versus on the shooting range. A guy gets hit even by birdshot at close range. That's going to be a catastrophic wound, right? You now have 50 freaking BBs in your leg and you're bleeding everywhere. I can't pull the BBs out fast enough. I'm going to tourniquet your leg. I'm going to put an Israeli on that wound and try and slow it down. So this is packed differently for a different type of injury. Now, of course, on the other side, I have another tourniquet. This goes with me to the range. Now, here's the funny thing. I've gone to, you guys know, those of you who follow me, I go to these clay shoots. The smallest clay shoot I've been to was about 50 guys. The average one I've gone to is 200 shooters, split up in teams of anywhere from 4 to 6. The big one I went to, where I won the Diamondback AR, I did the other video on, was over 3 days and involved 3,000 people. It was 200 per group, 4 groups a day. It was a huge event. There were people with firearms everywhere, and I knew about 20 of the 3,000 people that went to that event. So think about that. I'm around a lot of strangers who have guns. I know my regulars, and I know the guys I shoot with, and I know the regulars you see at the range. You see them all the time. You're like, oh yeah, it's Joe over there. I don't know him well, but I know he's here and he hasn't shot himself yet, so he's competent at least. You never know who's gonna go. So the tourniquet and the first aid kit with the extra gauze, I'm expecting if someone gets hurt, it's gonna be either they fell off the stand, like they tripped on something and went into the rebar, or the, cause it's on a ranch, so you fall into the barbed wire, you're gonna get cut to crap. So I'm expecting either lacerations, animal bites, someone falling on like rebar, so puncture wounds, or a gunshot wound. So that bag, totally different. And again, you can find a lot of this online. You don't have to put it, I put it in a little bougie tactical bag, which I bought a while ago for this very purpose because I had it. And I bought it to put a first aid kit. I just adapted it for shooting as opposed to in my luggage, right? Again, you can adapt your first aid kit. None of these are pre-made, obviously. You saw the other one was in damn Ziplocs. You can make your own. You can find the resources. Hell, if you get 2 or 3 people and you buy, you know, a big kit of, I don't know, gauze and band-aids and bandages, you know, you get them in bulk. You can buy them in bulk. They're cheaper. Split it with 2 or 3 people the same way I tell you, hey, go buy rice in bulk and split it and Mylar it together. You can say, hey, you know what? We should all make our new first aid kit together. Get everyone at the table. Say, okay, who picked up the band-aids? And somebody raises their hand. Okay, who has the gauze? And they bring their gauze. And you bring, I don't know, the tape, and somebody got some tourniquets or Israeli bandages, and you divvy it up. And you could, there's no reason when you buy stuff, you can't make 2, 3, maybe even 4 first aid kits for different purposes. You can even make little ones for the kid, very similar to the one I keep in my travel bag. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Now, the last one I got, which, believe it or not, is a prefab, but I don't think you can get it. And this time I can't close my bag. Again, I sure when I don't do things right or something gets broken, because you need to see that too. This one comes from my company. This is an actual first aid kit. It's Heart Health, H-A-R-T, not H-E-A-R-T. And I don't know if you can find this on Amazon, because as of the making of this video, I haven't tried to look for this. Do you know why? My company gives me one. Because I have to take clients, I have to take coworkers to work sites, to events, to meetings. I asked the safety guy, do you guys have a first aid kit for me, or do I have to buy my own? He's like, don't buy your own, stupid. We got them in the warehouse, so I have to sign it out. And this one's actually expired, because this one's dated 9 of 23, and it's 18 months. So it's definitely, yeah, it expired sometime in 25, so earlier this year. It was in a plastic seal, so I unpacked it. This is one of those, you can, boop. But if you work in an OSHA environment, if you work for a company, especially if you drive around like I do on behalf of the company, you can ask the safety guy, hey, can you provide me a first aid kit? They may say no, you have to get an expense report, or you have to file a PO, whatever. Or they may say, yeah, sure, we have them. And every vehicle that's doing company business is required to have a first aid kit. And I told him what I had, and he's like, don't stress about it. I'll just give you a company issue one. It checks all the boxes. Boom. I'm going to open it real quick, just so you can see if I can open it. So it has, so this is really neat. So it has, first of all, I want to show you, it has the little, the gauze, good Lord, the rubber gasket to seal, I can't talk today, guys, to seal off the first aid kit. So it's actually waterproof. It also has that little thing, you saw this, so I could even mount this on a wall. But look at this. It gives you a little first aid book, quick reference, and it has a little passed out dude and how to use everything. But look what's inside. This is very cool. So everything's by color. And the red is, what goes from red to green. And I think it's color coded, but I can't remember what the color codes mean. Quick action finder. Are you in a safe area? Are you okay? Is the victim responsive? Is the victim about to become unconscious? Are they totally unconscious? It gives you actually like first aid for dummies. But think about it. If someone new is panicking, guys, this is a great book to give your kids. And it came in the first aid kit. Now, among the things it has, first aid and burn cream, medical gloves, 1-inch and 3-inch shear strips, bandage compress, gauze pads, triangular bandage, which you can use for your arm, adhesive tape, a cold pack, and PVP nylon wipes. And each one comes in their handy dandy little box. And then it shows you what's in it. So, and it comes in with, I guess, is basically a waterproof little box. And believe it or not, this guy's expired. So I'm actually gonna have to hit my safety guy up and be like, so my first aid kit expired. Can I go sign out another one? And then I'll go around the shop trying to figure out where they've put them, and I have to sign it out. But this one is perfectly valid. So this one might wind up in my wife's truck. And then I'll keep the new one. She'll have the old one, which is perfectly fine. I might order one if I can't get a second. But again, find a way to do it less expensive. Now, there are some links for some of this stuff, but guys, you could go to Walmart, you could go to Dollar General and find this. And I can't emphasize this enough. Two things. One, this is my way of doing it. Again, I have a first aid kit in my get-home bag, which is also in my truck, but I keep this guy as well, because this checks the box of compliance for the company, and it has additional resources for me, and it costs me nothing. The company had it in the budget, because they know we are on the field, we're in the road, people get hurt. Perfect, merging of interests right there. The one I use in my travel bag is Ziplocs and Band-Aids and stuff you get from the first aid kits. You can even get one of those big first aid kits at Sam's or Costco for 20 bucks that has a slew of all sorts of crap, and just divvy it out and make 3 little first aid kits out of the one big one. And then I have the big first aid kit on my range bag. I have 3 kits that I've shown you today. Other than the one issued by the company, the other 2 are DIY kits. You don't need a fancy OCP or multicam bag. You could put it in a little duffel bag. You could put it in a drawstring bag. You could put it in Ziplocs. Be imaginative. Crap is expensive. And the reason I'm bringing this video up is one, I know I do a lot of reviews and I say, hey, here's the link if you want to see it. But I also want people to not forget you can do some of this on your own. You can get creative a little bit, and you can do it with other people. Now think about it. What better way to do family bonding time? I did it with my sons when they were in Scouts. I'd get 5 or 6 Cub Scouts over, and I would buy, you know, the big thing of Band-Aids, the big thing of medical gloves. I tell one of the other moms or dads, go bring a bunch of gallon Ziplocs, and the other mom brings some Sharpies. And I give each parent a list. I said, every kid needs to have this little kit. And one of the dads donated what was like a little zip pouch that had a little belt loop so the kids could put it on their little belts. And he brought 7 of those. It was perfect. So I said, okay, everyone needs to make their own first aid kit. And the kids went around the table like a production line, and the parents helped them pack little first aid kits. Each kid had a first aid kit. Kind of like what I put in my travel bag. There's no reason you can't do a DIY. Now, obviously, if you have the money and the time or the availability at work to get one of these, even if it's expired, you can remove any expired meds. The gloves don't really go bad. A bandage doesn't go bad. It takes a while for this stuff to get bad. You can still repurpose or cannibalize what's in here. I love the fact that this box has a waterproof gasket, ring gasket on it, because I can just simply put different things in here if I need it. I can repurpose this. It's kind of like an ammo can, but for first aid. So anyway, folks, that's it for this one. I just want everyone to think, hey, you can do this on your own. You can do it cheap. You can do it expensive, however you want to do it. And there's no reason you can't make multiple bags at the same time to make sure everyone has a first aid kit. There's no reason not to have at least a basic first aid kit in every vehicle, and in your carry bags, or in your, if you got one of those little Yeti Caminos the girls like now, you got you're just a regular old big purse for work. There's no reason you don't have a first aid kit in there. You don't have to do something big and heavy like this. You can do something small. Anyway, that's it for this one. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you took away something from this. And again, this is a way, this is the way that works for me. It may not work for you. Be creative, figure it out, and trial and error. You're gonna do a first aid kit, and one day you'll get hurt and be like, I forgot to put, I don't know, crazy glue to close stitches or something. I don't know. And that's how you learn. So anyway, that's it for this one. You guys be good, be safe, God bless, and I will see you on the next video. You guys take care of yourselves up there.